back to Destination DMU. Got something a little bit different today. As you can see, I haven't got anything that is remotely off of a DMU. It's actually off of the brake van, and very kindly being asked to make up a new set of duckets for Ollie for Wardle Road. So welcome to Ducket Diaries. So here is the ducket in one piece still. As you can see, it's quite rotten along the bottom. Obviously water has gone in through the top and probably through these holes as well. But I'm gonna make a new set. So what I'm gonna do first is destroy it, basically. But destroy it in a way in which I can gather measurements to make another one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut right along this fold, right along here, cut along here, cut down here, which you can actually see it has been welded. So this has been obviously put together in possibly more than one part. It's probably gone in a press. But as you can see, welded all along down here. Could have really done a better job of grinding the welds whoever originally made it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut this side panel off. I'm gonna flatten out, I'm gonna flatten the folds out. I'm gonna get it flat so I get all the measurements I need to make another one from flat metal, and then I'm gonna bend it all into shape and weld it all together. So, as you can see, I've just basically cut the ends off, or the sides, probably, not the ends. Just cut the sides off. So, see, this is probably the worst, the one that is more worse off out of the two of them. You can see it's already started to rot through. Basically, cut off. What I intend to do now is, you able to see it's a lip. Just want to flatten that out, get all my measurements so I know to cut out of a flat sheet of steel, so that then I can make up another one of these, bend the lip, etc. And the same for this bigger bit. I'm going to just flatten it all and make it as one section. Put the bend in here, bend in there, bend in there, and then bend at the end. And then once I've got all three sections made, I'll basically put them together as I have kind of cut them apart. Then I'll make all three brand new sections, put them all together, put side on the side, side on the side, weld them all back together, and then rinse and repeat basically from there on in. So, as you've seen through a time lapse, I have flattened out. Pretty good. I've flattened out this panel, nice and flat, got my reference measurements off it, and haven't flattened out this other one, which is the rotten one. Well, more rotten. Because they're both the same size, it just one's the other way around, so that's fine. I can basically just flip them out the other way around. So I need one from reference measurements, so chose a better one. Flatten that out. As you will have seen, I flattened out this hunk, which is still quite heavy for a load of rusty metal. What you probably can see is that I haven't fully flattened out the end. Just hasn't rotted out enough for it to be easy to just hammer them out. But I've gotten the ends done with the vise, as you've seen, and that's alright because that's going to give me the reference measurements on each end, and then I can just basically draw a straight line from end to end. Yeah, I've just marked out two of these on the steel here. Just looking to see kind of what I could get out of the other sheet I've got here. But I can't. I want to keep it in as big a piece as possible. Hence why I've done the sides and that big bit. So I'm probably not going to use that steel. which is alright because it was just it was a little bit left over from another project. We have got a steel order coming. Michael has ordered that to my house, which is where I'm doing this. This is my little workshop. Not perfect, but it beats a concrete floor, I guess. But yeah, so I was seeing if I could get anything out of that, but I can't. It's fine, because I'm not gonna, try and cut it up into millions of sections. This recipe for disaster. I'm gonna try and keep it as simple as possible. It's alright, so we've got a steel order coming, which is a couple of 2 metre by 1 metre sheets, which is easily going to fit on, and I can trace around it and cut out a few of them, no problems. And what I'll probably use this sheet for here is for making up more sides, more of these, more of them together. But yeah, so it's going pretty well, and probably the next thing you're going to see is a load of big sheets of steel in here, and me tracing out what you see in front of you. But for now, I'll just do a short time lapse of these sections I'm cutting out. So what you can see here is one of the sides of the duckets. It's going to be one of the very few panels in this entire run that is going to be in 2 pieces and put together. So what I've done, I've got a clamp at the end, clamp there, and a clamp on the piece of moulding. I've lined them up through my table. I will smoothen out that little join there, but the key here is, it's okay to join them together, but the key here is to make sure they don't warp at all, they don't get uneven, they've got to look like one piece. So in an effort to prevent that, I have clamped them to a flat surface that isn't going to bend when I weld them together. So yeah, you will see me after this. So you see I've put this panel together and it has come out pretty straight, which is perfect. Very happy with that. You see a brand on the welds. So the next thing to do now is to put the bend in it, which you will see a time lapse of, probably about now. But yeah, just bending. 50 mil. I notice all the bends on this ducket, they're not all bent at actually the same place. I'm doing some measurements. This one, the better of the two, was bent at, the bench started at 45 mil. But I looked on the other one and that starts at 40 mil. So I'm going to go with, give it the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to aim for a cut around 45 mil, 50 mil, somewhere right in between those two. Because the way I'm going to be bending it, it's going to be a bit of a sharper bend. And the bends on the other ones, because they're formed by a big press, most likely. Looking at them, I don't know, but they're a smooth bend, so it looks kind of like it's done with a press of some sort.
So of course the bend starts at 45 and maybe would end at, you know, 52, 55, you know, kind of around that. But so the way I'm going to bend it, I'm going to bend it at 50, and they should come out looking pretty good. And without a magnifying glass, you're not going to notice it. So yeah, because I will blend them in as nicely as possible.